All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to you, humble Aqua, who learn the science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. And hey, the Lord just put on my spirit to go into Whoredom, and specifically Eve's Whoredom, right? Because you know this world is just this is a wicked place, and there's a heavy judgment that's going to be placed on our women because they want to follow after everybody else's customs, right? And when you think about it, I mean, it is bad. It is sick that they actually promote being a whore. They promote that lifestyle to our young women. And Esau Edom, you have basically created the structure for particularly Israelite women to be whores and to glorify it. And what I mean by that? So, hey, think about how our women are perceived on TV. Think about how our women are talked about in music and how they talk about themselves in music, right? It is basically glorified to the highest level to be a whore and to act as if women can act the same as men, to act as if women are the same as men, and you're not. So yes, a man can have multiple women. Yes, that's in the Bible. That's lawful. That's a righteous. Women, you cannot have multiple men. That is unrighteous. That is against the law. And that's evil and wicked and disgusting. Whereas in this kingdom, it's okay for women to have multiple men. You're supposed to have multiple men, right? That's okay. That's actually glorified, you know. But if a man has multiple women, hey, that's a bad thing, right? That's evil, right? Even though it is lawful, hey, and I get it. It may not be expedient for us men to do so because it's a damn headache, but at the end of the day, it is lawful. And we have to basically understand that if we want to build a nation, yes, the fastest way to building a true nation is men having multiple women and having many kids. That's a righteous thing, and there's many scriptures that actually detail that, you know, that say, hey, this man had, you know, uh, you know, 12 wives and 25 children, and that man was mighty. That man was righteous, roughly paraphrasing, you know? And so you basically, if you have reading comprehension, you understand what it means by had such and such, and that man was mighty because he had such and such, you know? His heritage, his lineage would go on forever and ever. And back then, we had that knowledge, but we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok with these lies about how you're supposed to be as a man monogamous. It's utterly a joke because it's not a natural thing. And it's hard for our women to understand that because they're so stuck in this way of life. They're so stuck in really living a backwards life and trying to condemn men and call men, uh, um, you know, evil for actually being righteous. And you're calling men selfish when you're the actual selfish ones, because you would rather have your own sister out here on her own without any protection from a man. So again, it's not about every man having multiple women. It's about all of our Israelite women having a man to be called after, to be protected by. And yes, if you actually stood by that Israelite woman, you would understand that it is a community, it is a family. But you don't understand because you're so caught up in lies and thinking that you know what's right and what's wrong, and thinking that this is your duty to put your basically your foot on a man's neck and talk about you my man, you better not do this and you better not do that. Oh, my man cheated on me. When you're the biggest whore walking the planet, you're actually supposed to deal with one man. That's it. That's how it's set up. But we know that does not happen in this kingdom because they have created you to be created a structure for you to be wicked and go against the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So you Israelite women, you're gonna have hell to pay because you don't want to listen. You don't want to humble down. You don't want to humble yourself to the Creator. You look at who's in power on this earth and think that that's the way to go because Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai has given them this little bit of power for a limited time, and that time's up. And it's beautiful to know that that time is up. Hey, but enough of me talking. Let's get into this precept. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Right? And true men of the Lord can read through your spirit. And we know how you women are. You think you slick. You like to call out what men do, and then you do it undercover. Basically, because, hey, my man is doing it, so I'm going to do it too. Knowing or not knowing that your men, this man can do it. Not your man, this man can do that. And you cannot. And you cannot. Not according to me, not according to Raza, the law of Raza. It's according to the laws of the Creator, of Yahweh. You are a special vessel, but you don't hold your body as a temple. As Yahweh Bashim Shah would have you govern your body. You think you're supposed to test this out, test that out. By the time you basically try to tell a man he needs to stop, you done got 20 bodies, 20 different spirits inside you. And now you're commanding and demanding a man stop. When he's supposed to, again, be able to have multiple women. And you are not supposed to have multiple men inside of you, putting those spirits inside of you. This world is just an abomination to everything. And rather than search the scriptures, rather than understand the scriptures, you divorce your man or you break up with your man and saying it's over, right? You collect child support, right? You do all this stuff because, again, Esau Edom has set this kingdom up for you to be disobedient. But you got a judgment coming because you don't want to listen to the men of the Lord that are telling you what the scripture is saying. And we read from the scriptures, but you don't want to hear it. Because you look at Israelite men, you look at the prophets as nothing, as nobodies, right? Well, go get yourself a job. What else they say? Oh, go get an education. You look at the true prophets, true men of the Lord as bums. You look at us as bums. And you look at these men in the world with so-called power and money that will soon be evaporated. as what it is. Well, you're gonna soon find out that the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shai, the people that you called ignorant, the people that you called hate mongers, the people that you called stupid, are actually men of the Lord, prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And we were trying to teach you and show you the way, Yahweh's way, the perfect way, right? But you didn't want to listen. So there's going to be a judgment for that, you know? Even though we know that the Yahweh deprived you of wisdom, you know, just like Eve, right? She chasing after other ways of life when she already had the perfect way. Because, you know, you women are emotional. You don't deal with logic, many of you, right? So you're a sign. The way you act towards the men of the Lord, you're a sign based off of what happened in the old days, right? What the Job's wife say? Curse Yahweh and die, right? Because again, you can't control your thoughts and emotions. You all over the place. That's why you need to be governed by a man, a true man of the Lord, though, not just any man, a man that loves Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, a man that wants to follow the laws, statutes, commandments that's written in the scriptures. And you had your opportunity, but again, you were stiff necked and hard headed. You know, because you follow after Esau Edom, because the Lord has put him in the power seat. So rather than obeying and being a helpmeet to the men of the Lord, you let Esau Edom govern your thoughts and how you're supposed to act towards righteous men. But hey, there's judgment for that, you know. But we can read through your spirit. You're not slick, but hey, you may think because we don't see it that we don't know it. But guess who ultimately knows it? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And you don't have to account for your wickedness. And it's coming soon. It's coming soon. Lord willing, it was yesterday. But we know, we know it didn't happen yesterday. So Lord willing, we hope it's today. And if not today, at sundown. You know? That's how urgent we want this thing. Right? You know? Hey, with that, hey, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Hakwadash. Hey, Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.